So I was watching a Love and Hip Hop clip where Rasheeda was basically having a conversation with another person. And she spoke on how Yandy Smith is basically using her because being her friend is a good look for Yandy. Are you kidding me? Being a good, first and foremost, let me say this. And let me tell y'all something. I never cared much for Rashida. I never cared much for her music. I never cared much for her personality. I really didn't care much for her after the way she did Carly Red. She's not a friend to nobody. I don't know why y'all insist on keep supporting this girl. Half of them clothes that she has in them show on in them stores and stuff, they come from AliExpress, Sheen. All she do is put her logo on it. And quiet as it's kept, my homegirl has one of the lipsticks that she, bought from her store. And I have that same lipstick and it came from AliExpress. The only thing is, it had Rashida's logo on it. And I told her that. She said, well, no, it's not the same thing. And we put it on a piece of paper. You know how you roll the lipstick across the paper to see the tone? And it was the same tone, same lipstick. She just had her logo on it. I said, you paid how much for that? She said $30. I said, girl, I got the same one, $3, well, really, after they ship it was like $3.99. Same lipstick. Okay, y'all go up for this girl. This girl is a fraud. Okay, I stopped watching Love and Hip Hop not long after Jocelyn left. I mean, around the time when Tommy first came on the scene, that's around the time I want to say after what's that lady name? Scrap. What's his mama name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. The one she was dating Scrap and his mama was on the show too. That's around the time when COVID was around, that's after they had cut the scene, the filming. uh that's around the time that I stopped watching it. You know, after that, them around the time that light skinned Keisha and all them, you know, I didn't really watch it after that season because to me, I felt like, I'm gonna tell you what was really starting to put me out with it was Akbar. When she started really trying to take over the show, it was too much for me. It was too overwhelming for me. And, it just won't the same. Even with Akbar and Scrap and all them, it still won't the same love and hip hop like, when Jocelyn was up there. To me, it was better, but this new Love and Hip Hop stuff, I don't really watch it, but I did see the clip and I'm like, oh no, she didn't. It's the audacity for me. And to be honest, outside of being able to dress now, we not gonna play Rashida now. Rashida could dress her ass off. She could dress down, okay? She can gather the girls, right? Even at her age, she has an age. I give people they flowers where it's due. She could dress. She's well put together, but her attitude ain't right. Her spirit ain't right. She's not a good friend. She's a fraud in all aspects of her life. She's a fraud when it comes to her friends. She's a fraud with a lot of that stuff that she's selling them clothes. Like I told you, I just gave y'all an example of the lipstick. Now, I don't wear a lot of makeup. Outside of lipstick, I don't wear foundation and, eyeliner and all that other mess, um, unless I'm going to an event, I might get my face beat. I might not. But outside of lipstick, I can't speak on all the eyeliner and foundation and stuff she sells because I don't buy that stuff. Okay? But when it comes to that lipstick, a lot of the time she getting over on y'all. Y'all paying $30 and $40 for a tube of lipstick that I'm buying from AliExpress for like $3. Okay? You getting played. All right. Um I didn't feel bad for her when Kurt did that stuff to her. She gets what she gets. I didn't like the way she did Carly Red. Remember that scene a couple of years ago where they was outside and the way she was just going in on her and she was doing it face to face, but the cameras were rolling. So even if y'all having a conversation, but if the cameras are rolling, you basically still airing her out on national television. It's like, you ever got into it with a person and then all of a sudden they just saying a whole bunch of hurtful things? That's because they been having that on their chest. I didn't like when she was telling her nobody likes you, nobody can see it for you, you a bird, which quiet as is kept, half of the things she was saying was 50% true. But y'all know how they used to do Carly. They used to play Carly to the left so bad. And Carly always wanted to be these girls' friends. And I just couldn't understand it for the life of me. You know, maybe if she was a little younger, like in her early 20s or, beforehand, and she was like that, I could understand because you didn't really go through trials and tribulations with people for you to understand. But Carly had quiet as a scalp, Carly was always a little older than the girls. So to me, it came across as you should have been learned your lesson by now. But anyway, I mean, talking about being her friend is a good look for her. Girl, who the F are you? You can dress, but outside of that, it ain't. I mean, you know how to handle your business when it comes to running business. But quiet as it's kept, my cousin used to have a clothing store. She said, I mean, you ain't really got to have no big brain, no Einstein to run no clothing store. I ain't never ran a clothing store, but I've known people to have a clothing store. You know, but I mean, quiet as it's kept, outside of being, having your own business and can dress, is there anything else to you? Because your music is trash. And obviously, if your boss was all this and that, Kurt wouldn't be looking at other places for sex. Because if he can get it from you, what he need to go to someone else for? And from what I'm seeing on the clips, it looks like he's still interested in that baby mama. Now, I know they used to say back in the day, that ain't Kurt real baby and all this other mess. But quiet as it's kept, if that was all a facade just for the show and that really want his baby, they were just doing that as a plot line, that's even worse. Because that's even worse because quiet as it's kept, that mean that Rasheeda ain't really doing as well as she try to play. She not no big boss, bitch, like she say she is. Because if she was, you wouldn't be trying to publicly humiliate yourself and play with your marriage just so you could stay on the show for a check. That everybody say quiet as it's kept on Love and Hip Hop checks ain't like that no way. If you was such a big boss, bitch, the way you say you are, and being your friend is a good look for someone else, because quiet as it's kept, Yandy net worth, Yandy is heavy in the bank. And quiet as it's kept, she probably worth more money than you. I could be wrong. Then again, I don't know what's in these people's wallet. Quiet as it's kept, Yandy is degreed. She's smart. Okay? And if you ask me, yeah, aesthetic wise, you do look better than her. But to me, to be honest, Yandy is a winner. A winner. She's a winner. You're not a winner. You're not a winner. Okay? And then they say Yandy had something to do with Love and Hip Hop first coming up on the scene anyway. It was something like that. Like, I can't remember where I read that. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on it. They said Love and Hip Hop was partially her idea. How you gonna diss her on a show that you wouldn't even be on if it wasn't for her? I know Mona Scott Young is, she's really the gold mine that really, the pioneer when it comes to Love and Hip Hop. But how you gonna diss her on a platform that she's partially, you're the reason why, she's the reason why you here. Number one. And number two, Yandy has more education than you. You think you smarter than her. She has more education than you. Okay? You can't play with her. You go get a degree first. Okay? That's number one. Okay? And Yandy has businesses too. You have businesses too. But quiet as it's kept, she still has one up on you because she has a degree. And yeah, education ain't everything. But how is her being your friend a good look for her? Help me understand that. Help me understand that. Why? Because you could dress. Because outside of being able to dress and having a business, that does not make you a some type of winner. That doesn't make you that. Now you dress better than her, you look better than her. I'll give you that. I give props where it's due. But outside of that, you're a shitty friend. You didn't know how you look how you did K Michelle. I didn't like how you did her. When you tried to act like she was lying when it came to Memphis. And when I looked at that clip with the way he was talking to Toya, I'm starting to believe what K Michelle said. Cause he was talking to Toya kind of real nasty on Marriage Boot Camp. You didn't know how to treat K Michelle. You didn't know how to treat Carly Red. Now you talk about Yandy. I don't know why these girls keep trying to be your friend. Because if you ask me, you ain't nobody's friend. You washed up. Your music is trash. Legs to the moon, make her wanna marry me. Girl, that bullshit. That bullshit, he merged and he still cheat on your ass. Your box probably trash. That's why anytime you supposed to be some classy ass bitch, some big boss ass bitch, and your husband go get a scripper bitch pregnant off the street, but you so classy and so this and legs to the moon, make her wanna marry me. And he still got down in the gutter and got a stripper bitch pregnant. So obviously her cat was better than yours because he had somewhere else he wanted to be. You wobbling all on the show. And then remember that time he embarrassed you with that girl that was supposed to be his assistant? And the whole time she was gay. He has disrespected you multiple times, but somebody being your friend is a good look for them. Bitch, you are a fraud. A fraud, honey. Have several. Have several. Because I don't know why these girls keep wanting to be your friend. Okay? I don't know why I talk about you, Atlanta royalty. Bitch, please. Bitch, please. Like you, really, really, honey, really. Somebody needs to give you a big slice of humble pie. Cause I don't see what the fuck they see outside of some clothes. Again, let me tell you something. People think these clothes and these shoes is everything. When they put you in that box, people gonna be talking about your character. At the end of the day, your character, what type of person you were. Were you a good friend? Could they depend on you? Would you get somebody to close off your back? You ain't never heard of nobody going to the other side and people saying, oh, well, she could dress her ass off. She had all the clothes. Nobody says that. They talk about your character, what type of person you were. You will be remembered for your works that you did on earth, how you talk to people, how you treat people. Maybe every now and then I heard people say, oh, well, she could cook now. She could cook her ass off. I remember her food, stuff like that. Ain't nobody gonna be talking about that, Rasheeda. Okay? Bitch, sit the fuck down. You ain't no fucking body. Atlanta royalty. Bitch, please. Please, bitch. You ain't no better than the next hoe. The fuck?